What are you gonna be for Halloween? I'm going to a party tomorrow.
I'm probably going to stay home and watch The Calling and play test games.
I'm not gonna be watching The Calling. I think I'm gonna go as a gnome.
Okay, sure.
Speaking of gnomes, hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against, a very serious live Flesh Up Colin show. I'm William Table and Legs, and I'm joined by my constant co-host Kevin. I'm joined by my constant co-host Gordon. Gordon, what's up? He's
Nope,
attacking for zero. Zero with go again. Kevin,
He
what's
doesn't
up?
want to talk today. What's up?
Pit Against is a
Invite me
live
now, I
call-in
bet.
show. If you'd like to be live on air talking to us about your take, Greg, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link that's in the description. Then join the waiting room channel. Put your hot take in the topics text channel. If we like your take, we'll put you on for a mic check and put you on air. You can also put your take in the topics text channel, in the stream chat, or in the comments for me to bring up if you can't be on. And I'm bringing them up. I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
I got a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people are showing up, but I've got a couple of them.
Cool.
One thing we haven't done recently is, for a while there, especially with Super Slam coming out, I was asking if there was any new cards that are worth bringing up. Anything exciting?
Like in Super Slam?
Just new cards showing up. Specifically, I guess the only ones that have kind of been announced is, we talked about the Rhinar cards, I believe.
Sure.
New Romping Club is dope.
Sure, the golf cards are
New
funny.
Rhinar is dope. New merch is dope. Do you see the merch that they okay, they said you get the new Rhinar card, you spend $150. And I was like, haha, I don't own $150. And then they showed what's going to be at the merch booth, and I might find $150.
They showed some stuff. I don't remember what it was, though.
There was one that was like a t-shirt that looked like Marvel vs. Capcom fighting, like a 2-on-2, which looked kind of
Sure.
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a hat that said Savage Lands Country Club. Love that.
You do like hats?
I do love hats.
That's right up your alley, Bass
I'm
Pro
wearing
Shops.
a Bass Pro Shops hat. The only
Oh,
other
there it
card is there's a card.
Wait, those are the like diamond plaid.
Yeah. I think it's a t-shirt too. Like, it's not a polo. I think it's just a t-shirt with it printed on
With
it.
a collar.
With a collar printed on it. I don't actually know. It could be a polo.
It has a collar. I think
does
it's
have a
actually
collar?
a golf polo.
Dude, if it's a
and
golf
Taylor's
polo,
gonna
that's
buy
sick.
4 of them.
And they'll be $70 a piece. You'll buy 2 of them and meet your 150.
Ooh.
I don't know how much they're going to be, actually.
That Shiana playmat is going to look good.
Yeah, this
Rampart
playmat's look
playmat,
sick.
head jab.
Also,
And then
you're
also
going to be
collection
in
binders.
Worlds, right? You're participating in Worlds
I am
Philadelphia?
playing the main event.
So you will not be eligible to win, but I will. The Calling Champion boots.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm so in for the hat, dude. There's going to be so many people wearing that hat.
Oh, yeah.
Quick dodge flexors. Big art quick dodge flexors. Gold
Marvel.
foil.
Gold text, calling champion, full art on the other side. Yeah.
I hope
those
the
are
Calling Champion part on the other side is just matte yellow, because that's what it looks like on my screen. It doesn't look shiny and gold, and I think it'd be so funny if it was just flat yellow printed on it. People would be so disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The collectors would be livid.
They'd be like, what the frick? I love it. What rarity are... I'll get to that in a minute. So, okay, I guess the first and most important thing, which this isn't a hot topic, which is why we'll get it out of the way, is we have Bands in Living Legend, and then we had Bands in Living Legend.
Yes.
So we're at Living Legends band number 2 ahead of a tier 4 event.
Yeah.
Specifically, Deadwood Dirge, restricted. Re-restricted.
Yes.
Rosetta Thorn, restricted to 0. Banned.
Yeah, banned.
Banned.
Yeah.
Banned in all formats now, except TPF.
Yes.
As it probably should be, but...
I mean, Rosetta Thorn is pretty good, but I think even they said it's kind of the Band-Aid solution for this format. Deadwood Dirge makes sense. It lets Chain be kind of really gross, where Chain is used to his arcane non-attacks being worth like 1 because banishing and playing them. But now, as long as you draw 1 and 3, you get the same rate for then better attack actions. Like Deadwood Dirge enabled an engine in Chain who gets action points where Vincent doesn't, gets extra banishes where Vincent doesn't. That just got to do really gross things, even through Warmongers, which, yes, in Houston there weren't any Warmongers in top 8, but I know there were Warmongers in Baltimore because I was there, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Chain was going 3 wide through Warmongers.
Yeah. His hero ability doesn't care.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It's a non-attack action to activate it. But it's just like Shadow Verser plus Art of War.
True.
Lets you...
Oh, Art of War. That's not an action.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nope. Art of War is an instant.
Yes, it is. And Shadow Verser is a heck of a card.
Yep. Diamond Amulets were also in the lists, which that also lets them get around Warmongers for at least the action point. It doesn't necessarily let them... They still can't, like, play the Read the Runes or the Dirges under Warmongers, but you can set up around that stuff pretty readily, in my opinion, because Malefic Incantation is also a card, and Runeblood Incantation is also a card. So...
There's also a small bit, this doesn't matter as much, where it's like, sometimes Chain, especially in the later game, his hand is his banish zone. His actual hand is his pitch. And so, like, Read the Runes pitches for 1, which might matter, right? Like,
sure. I mean, it's just like, it let him have really above rate turns without really trying, without needing Art of War. He would just get a 30 damage turn.
Yeah.
And Art of War, honestly, was, like, significantly less powerful in this version of Chain than... Yeah. Art of War looks less impressive by itself in this version of Chain than it does in, like, Super Boomer
He's
Chain.
using it like Levia, where it's like, I want my next card to have Go Again more than I want everything to get pumped.
I'm banishing Slithering Shadowpede to Art of War, and that's how I cheese around it, is, like, actually what's happening. Which is still just good enough when you draw 3 extra cards a turn. Or you draw... Really, you're drawing, like, around 1 in 3 Shackles, because you're not running 40 Blood Debt cards in this version. But, like, it let the engine be really gross. It didn't care about Hypothermia being unrestricted because you just dirged the Hypothermia.
Yes.
It didn't really care about Warmongers being unrestricted, and it just kind of... It didn't care. Yeah. It was just the best thing you could be doing. To the point where after this last weekend, I was probably going to be playing it until they sent that ban list. I'm like, well, I have no idea what I'm doing now because meh.
New Prism, right?
No, 32 health is really bad against Skeletor.
Yeah, it's bad against a couple of things, but Skeletor, yes.
Yeah. But then Rosetta Thorn is, like, weird.
So, what I saw from Rosetta Thorn was, 1, it's consistently a problem. Like, everywhere.
Across the game, sure.
And I know LL's different. Like, Dando brought this up in a thing where he was just like, LL's different. It's not... And you've talked about this, right? LL is not necessarily a numbers-based game. Almost every deck is a combo deck. And so it's like, I get 1 more rate on my weapon. That doesn't matter as much. But a 1 for 4 that has split damage, can help with your creepers... That helps all the Rune Blades. And what it does is it kind of knocks, let's be generous or let's be disingenuous to Rosetta Thorn, and let's say it takes 5% off all the Rune Blades.
Sure.
That's fine, right?
That's fine.
Knock them all down just a little bit without messing up too much.
They need to take the top 10% off the entire meta is really where I would take it. But it's so, like, the biggest thing is you don't have that package of 2 arcane, which also affects not just creepers but your widespreads. If somebody was able to fully cover a widespread destruction with its 3 arcane and then you just swung Rosetta, well, they lose the card anyways because they can't stop. They need AB2 to stop that plus another card, and they're at 5 cards blocked then. So it's like, it just kind of let you do a little bit of stuff, as well as on the Viserai side, you had sort of an inevitability if your Skeletor like stack turn didn't kill someone, but it put them to 3.
Yeah.
You just killed them in 3 turns with
cut through
Rosetta.
3. Yeah.
So like you just had inevitability there, which isn't necessarily there now. I think Dirge is actually a bigger hit for Viserai still than Rosetta Thorn is, because Read the Runes with Go Again is, as we've seen from Chain,
nasty.
very good. It's also one of your best tools for stacking Rune Chance quickly when you're stacking into matchups like Starvo. So like I think this hurt Viserai's consistency into Starvo a little bit. Not like massively. The matchup is not even, it's very playable, obviously. I think it's probably somewhere in the 50-50 range now instead of just being pretty darn favored. But it feels like Starvo has that extra turn he needed to consistently find the piece that like breaks through, rather than just like constantly getting stuck at that point. So I don't know. I think Rosetta really affects Briar the most.
Yeah. And
because you also can't run any creepers.
Not the
Briar
people
builds.
were complaining about.
Nope, she wasn't.
So,
but it's fine. It brings them all down a point, but also like makes things weird because now they have Reaping Blade, so like life gain also matters less against them. They're randomly going to get 2 value on that at some point when Starvo discards a fruits just to get a decompose, and then he doesn't gain 2 life, so they just dealt 2 arcane to him.
So,
but
with I'll just ask you the question: if oftentimes what bans do is they move the top decks down so that other decks can stand up. In that sense,
usually,
how wide's the meta right now?
I think this kind of puts most stuff up a tier.
Okay.
Quote unquote. I think Viserai is still going to be fine. I think Zen is going to be better because he doesn't have to play against Chain all the time.
Yeah.
Who cares about Zen state, but not nearly as much as Viserai does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like my initial guess is we get like a Starvo Vis Zen triangle at the top in tier 1, which is really like tier 0, but it's weird because it's LL tier 1.
It's LL. It's tier -1.
Pretty much. But then like tier 2, I think Briar might still be there because you just kind of forego the weapon and you just go like pure Cheerios and you end on a 0 for 4 instead that has an on hit.
Sure.
And then Briar's there, Dio's there. I'm not sure where Chain ends up. I think he falls pretty low with Boomer Chain. I think he just like auto loses. I don't know if he auto loses to Starvo, but it's really bad. Now, if he has to go back to Boomer Chain, I've seen some people trying to make RuneGate Chain still work with just Read the Runes, and it's clunky. It's not great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know.
But I don't know. Like you just lose a full action point to play Dirge over Read the Runes.
If you're playing Read the Runes, you chain Read the Runes and then try to do your turn, and then you don't have chain for something else, right?
So yeah, you need an extra card at that point. But you also just lose 6 sources of Rune Chance to consistently play your...
You also just literally lose slot 4 through 6 of Read the Runes. So
the 7
better
through 12. You were on 6 of each.
Oh my gosh, you do. That's right. They run the yellows as well.
You're down to 1 Dirge, but yeah, like it's you lose 5 sources of Rune Chant generation, which then just increases the variance of the deck a ton to the point where if you banish your 1 Dirge and 2 Red Reed, like you're so behind on your engine where like you probably can run like some of the 2-cost rune gates in just like a pseudo Boomer Chain or like an Eloquence based chain. I could see that, but it's gonna struggle. So like there's a tier 1. I don't know how wide it is. There's talk of Verdance. There's talk of Marlin. There's talk of like Syndra. There's all sorts of stuff. There's a dash
in top 8.
Yeah, there's Dio.
Yeah.
Dio's up there at tier 1. Yeah. I don't think it's Dio's at like tier 1.5.
That's wider than like 2 or 3 decks playable, right?
It's better than it was where I think it was actually like Chain Vis at tier 0 and Starvo at tier 2.
It's probably still like there's like 3 or 4 actually competitive decks.
Yes, I think you should not expect a lot of diversity at the top of LL come Worlds, or especially in the calling.
Yeah.
I think the calling will be pretty stale, and it's going to be Viserai and Starvo primarily, and Zen will be trying to do stuff, and Dia will be trying to do stuff, and they both are. I don't know. Skeleton is just busted, but like we could do like a whole hour on how they actually fix this format if they wanted to.
I'm sure they probably spent a lot of time on it as well, but this is like an easier quick fix is kind of what it feels for me, right? It just makes it so that there's not like 2 decks.
Yeah.
We're both typing right now.
Yes.
I'm changing the title of the stream. All right, because I realized I didn't do that. Yeah, the bands are definitely interesting. There's been a lot of takes on them too. I was reaching out to the, quote unquote, reaching out to the community, but also like, I get around. I'm 31, but I'm still on the internet. And there's a couple of actual hot takes out there about these bands.
Yeah.
One of them is something we've talked about before for other formats, and maybe this one as well. It's hero-specific bans, right? So, like, specifically, I have a hot take of hero-specific bans for Starvo only. No other heroes are that warping, but Starvo creates so many restricted cards that affect other elemental heroes. You can almost say that for Chain. I don't know how many he's...
We're seeing that for Chain now.
His ability is very powerful, and he is a lightning rod for bans.
I mean, this comes down to the fact of these heroes are not designed to play with each other. These heroes are designed to play in the CC meta in which they are released, which means some heroes are inherently going to be more powerful than others. And that's just going to warp formats. That's a part of, like, if we're going to have Living Legend be a format, we have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Now, does hero-specific bans address that? I don't... Like, it can. I think the ban... So if they... I mean, this just comes back to how do you fix LL? Like...
Yeah.
And really, that question is dependent on what do they want LL to look like? What is the role of Living Legend as a format?
Yeah. So I guess
if the answer is hero-specific bans, it's the goal is to make every hero playable, where you can play these LL'd heroes, but the power level is probably going to be closer to CC plus then, because Oldhim is not Starvo.
No, right, and I guess I'll backtrack a little bit on this, go back to their take a little bit, right? So for Living Legend, some restricted cards are like Electromagnetic. I'm thinking about Starvo, Electromagnetic Somersault, Awakening, Oakenold. Wow, actually, almost at this point, most of them are Chain. Crippling Crush. But then there's also cards like Bonds of Ancestry, Deadwood Dirge,
I
Call.
guess we can make Bonds a Zen only ban, but like I mean, I guess this. So
I'm wondering which of these cards they basically want unbanned to everyone else. Maybe Bonds of Ancestry outside of...
I mean, it's like Oakenold and Crown of Seeds unbanned for Oldhim is like the big ones that I'm thinking of. Because they're talking about Starvo.
I mean, to be fair, I would be playing Crown of Seeds Oldhim in LL. That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, and the Starvo deck would also change as a result. But it's like, I think Starvo still just kind of rolls that matchup.
Probably.
Just because you put 2 Evergreens in your deck and you just cycle the fuse.
Yes.
And Oldhim will eventually just die.
Yes. Like, dominates a heck of a drug.
Yeah. And you also can just...
And up value on just your hero ability. Yeah. And I guess, it's like, I don't know. I'm actually looking at some of these cards and I'm like, yeah, Aurora wants electromagnetic somersault back.
I don't think that doesn't change anything because she doesn't
No.
actually want to somersault any of her cards anymore. She doesn't want to somersault ball lightning. She
Oh,
wants it on the
no.
chain for its effect.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a
Like,
good
I
point,
think
actually.
somersault doesn't really change
Crippling
anything for
Crush
Aurora.
for Bravo that's not getting played.
That's not going
Oakenold
to matter.
for Oldham that's not getting played. And then there's some cards like, Deadwood Dirge, Open the Floodgates. They're not getting unbanned. Probably Count Your
So
Blessings.
Dirge would have to be still banned for both Chain and Vis, I think.
Yeah. It's not going to
Or
say play
I would be
Briar.
okay with it still being banned for Vis, but then it's like it doesn't matter for the other heroes. They're not playing it. But then
Count Your Blessings isn't getting unbanned.
no, in anyone.
Yeah, so like I don't actually think if you move to hero specific bans, I don't actually think there's so many cards that are getting unbanned.
No.
And if they are, they're getting
think there
unbanned
is.
for decks that aren't being played, which gets to the point of what I want to see is
I think those cards being unbanned wouldn't make them see play
Yes,
either. Just because it comes back to the hero abilities are so insane on some of these heroes compared to others that what are we doing? It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if Oldham has you would have to hit Starvo so hard that he's playing exclusively Tales of Aria. You would have to
and exclusively
take out Felling.
elements. He's like not playing Guardian cards. He's like
You'd have to take out Felling. You would have to take Oakenold from him completely. You'd have to ban it, not just restrict it.
Yeah.
Like you would have to take so many cards from him. You'd have to take Autumn's Touch from him.
Yes.
Unironically,
And it's like
and probably Evergreen. That's how you make Oldham playable.
Yeah.
Is you get Starvo to the point where you're restricting Evergreen.
That's just to get Oldham back, right? So like regular Bravo,
never.
He has to pay
impossible.
money for Dominate, whereas this guy gets it for free +2 and go again.
I think you would have to remove all of Starvo's weapons or something.
It would be, I don't know. You would genuinely, in a weird way, Bravo would just need more cards, and then also those cards are banned for chain.
And then those cards also have to get banned.
Yeah, it's so much. So I don't know what heroes you want in it. What I would like to see is, one, I would like an article from LSS very specifically. This is what we want out of the format. This is what we're balancing towards. What I would expect that is, Have we already?
I would like a dev talk on
Yes. I think we'd want to dev talk about a lot of things at this point.
We
were a little spoiled on dev talks, and I didn't know it at the time.
We were. Well, they set a new standard, and we're like, hey, hire some more people if you need time to do a dev talk.
Hire some PR people, and I am available. But I think that the direction of LL that they probably want to go into, what I want them to say publicly is probably, there's 10 to 15 heroes that are technically playable. I mean, all the heroes are playable in LL, but there's 10 to 15 heroes that are reasonable to sign up for an event at. And then
if you were to take it to an LLPQ, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't get clowned on for
it.
Yeah. So, and CC even now kind of feels like there's 4 heroes that if you brought it, someone would be like, oh, that's wild. It's good on you. I don't expect any wins. There's very few heroes like that.
There
in
honestly
CC.
are.
Yeah.
CC's kind of wild on how deep it is at the moment. There's a very clear distinction between the top and the bottom of the meta.
Mm-hmm.
But even for Worlds type events, but at a PQ, I mean, we're seeing how many different heroes win PQs.
It's a lot. It's most of them.
It's more. Is it more that it's up there for diversity of wins?
I think the hero spread ends up looking like a bell curve more so than what it sometimes looks like, which is just just
half
like a
the bell
line
curve,
graph, right? Where it's just like, yeah, half a bell curve, where it's just like,
Wait.
there's a little at the top. And
Yeah,
is my analogy working?
I don't think so.
Okay, I just mean to say, like, of the highest percentile, the best, most likely to
Yeah.
win. There's very few. There's a lot in the middle, and then there's very few that are just like unplayable.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
where
yeah.
you're trying to go.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to get at.
y-
Maybe I came up with this analogy on the fly, but I actually really like
it's
it. The more I
weird
think
because
about
like those labels have all shifted.
it. Oh,
Where normally it's like there's 2 or 3 heroes that are like the very likely to win, and then there's a decent chunk of heroes that are there's a chunk of heroes that are okay. I see what you're like, where you're going with it.
there's like 5 top tier.
Yeah.
There's 20 mid tier, and there's 5 unplayable.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Whereas I feel like some metas, it was like there's 5 top tier, 10 playable, 15 completely unplayable. There were metas that used to be like that. And so
I think
like,
it's closer to like 5, 15, 15
sure,
in some of those. But
Sure.
like, yes, that general idea, whereas like the bottom end is like
Bottom end's
has
getting-
come up a decent bit.
yeah, it's
Like
getting
if
pushed up.
Arachne Huntsman is doing what what they're doing at this point, like okay.
But I want the LL graph to look exponential. I want it to be like there's, 3 top tier, there's 10 playable, and there's 50. Do not register this unless you are legitimately trolling. You can build a format around those 15 heroes, and you can like balance them. And if somebody surprises the meta somehow with one of those unplayable heroes, you are a hero. You're a hero for the people, because that's crazy. And I think that's probably the direction they should take LL. In the way that they balance it and the way they expect people to interact with the format.
Yeah, because it's either you make it because I think there's
I don't want CC plus. I have CC.
yeah
I don't want CC plus.
yeah
That's how I feel. I'm just like, I don't want to be playing like almost card for card copy of some CC decks in LL.
Yes,
That sounds miserable.
I agree. I mean that was the problem with it when it first came out. Well, not when it first came out. After the first set of bans and restrictions, that was the problem with it.
Yes.
Because CC still had the books, so then every deck was just like Kano was literally 2 cards different.
I hated that. I was like, I don't understand the point of LL at that point. It's not different.
Because there's like fundamentally 2 directions that you can take LL, which is it is a place where you play. There's like 2 axes on this. Because it's how important are the LL heroes to it,
Okay.
and how important are the powerful cards to it, and then there's how competitive do you want it to be.
Oh, okay. That's not one I really think about for most Flesh and Blood formats of how competitive do you want it to be, because it feels like every single
Yes.
constructed format is competitive, like hyper competitive almost.
Yes. Usually. But the thing is, so those 2 are like kind of correlated, those 2 axes.
Yeah.
Because as you play towards the more powerful cards, it does kind of get less competitive as the card pool has grown. Because it's just like you're just making less and less choices because your cards do more and you start becoming blitz, which people didn't like.
Yes.
Because if your cards are worth twice as much,
yeah.
you're just playing blitz.
Yes.
You might as well have played the same cards, but you started.
I got that. That it took me a second, but I got it. That actually is kind of funny. Where it's like the opposite effect of where it's not that life totals are halved. It's that cards are doubled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like which is compounded. That effect is compounded by, or sorry, not compounded by, driven by the card pool growing, the options growing. Boomer Chain was not a problem until he had RuneGate stuff. Like if you were to play Boomer Chain right now, you'd do fine.
Yeah.
But like it's RuneGate Chain that like has really been gross lately.
More
But
cards
that wasn't a problem.
to a very strong hero
Yeah.
ability. It's both
Yes.
card pool and
Hero ability.
I guess sips, but in this case it's hero ability
Yes.
mostly.
Yes, because then the other side of that is Skeletor with
Yes.
Viscerai.
Yes, Skeletor.
With also a multiplicative hero ability of every card you play after the second gets +1.
That one's pretty good.
That's pretty good when suddenly
Pretty
you have a bunch of
good.
cards with Go Again in. Again, Rosetta just like screwed all of this, by the way, because that was Deadwood Dirge for both of them. It was also Rune Rager Swarm.
Yes.
It just has innate Go Again.
I saw someone do a Sonata recently, and it was like, put 9 of these 10 cards in your hand. 7 of them were Rune Rager Swarm. The other 2 were Rune Flash or whatever it's called, the other Go Again card.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I just play the whole hand now. Guaranteed. Yep.
Just without having to try.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's just like these things that like these heroes are not, I say not designed with, but Viscerai did get to play with these. He didn't get to play with these with Skeletor.
Yes.
Which, again, starts in play, stays in play pieces.
Yes.
So like, if they want this to be a competitive format, they probably can't focus around the powerful cards. They have to focus around making heroes playable and making a healthy format, which is going to trend closer to a CC plus type format. Now, it will not be purely CC plus because we have a ton of heroes now.
Yeah.
All of the hero abilities that are LL'd are just like kind of better than what we have in CC for the most part.
Yeah.
The hero abilities that we're seeing at the top of LL right now are better than that, except like even Dio is a different deck because you just have high octane, so the deck looks and plays insanely differently. Even though it's still a CC playable deck, it's going to be a different deck. It's not going to be Zen that just like runs 9 bonds and meh. Like
so another way to like kind of balance this that I've been hearing about is not hero specific bans. They took a whole word out of that sentence. It's just hero bans. Some people don't want to rock up and see Starvo or Chain anymore. If you cut Starvo and Chain, then you don't need hero specific bans. The ban list shrinks by like more than half. Though honestly, I'm looking at the ban list for LL. It's still very short compared to Blitz, Silver Age, CC.
Yeah. Oh, I think it needs a ban list similar to Silver Age. Like that's they're prepping this sort of system in Silver Age, I think.
Okay.
Which is to say, a very aggressive ban list that they're starting with from the beginning. It started with like 20 cards out of rares and commons that they just banned, and they added 6 more, pretty much all of which were probably good bans because they were just like format-defining cards. They were all gross. My first thought in Project Blue was Refractor Enigma because it's just dumb when you're playing a numbers game and these are 2-card 9s.
And even still, probably room for more bans too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
If some other stuff got hit. It's just, I think that's the direction they need to go if they want this to be a competitive format. Because it's just, the game isn't designed for this. Point system, I've also seen that.
Ooh, actually, I haven't heard that yet.
I've seen that one around a little bit. I don't hate it. It's very fine. I would need to see, like, that lets them also be much more kind of aggressive on where they put points. Because you can do, like, really cheeky stuff like something is just worth 100 points and then something is worth 1 if you don't want it played together. And you can just, like, break up stuff really easily like that. Whereas, like, you can put Skeletor at 100 and then you put Sonata at 1. And they just can't be played in the same deck. But putting Sonata in any other deck is trivial when the card would be fine.
Or you could do something like it's a point per card. Skeletor could be 9 and Sonata could be 1. And you get 1 Sonata, not 3.
Become would also have to be the same as...
Sure.
But, like, you have ways you can flex that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's possible. That's a lot more work than I think they can do right now if this is where they put LL for Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
It is it's not just a ban list. This is This is like a scaled ban list. It's so much. And we already know LSS hypes up, and I think justfully so, that they added in 2 whole people this year to the dev team. And I wonder if it's, if those numbers could go up. I'm sure they'll go up over time, naturally, right?
Yes.
But it's like they got a lot of demand on these devs, a lot of things to work on.
I think they bit off a little more than they could chew with a lot of this year. But that's fine.
I appreciate it. Fixed. Yeah. And honestly,
I would rather them take some chances than do nothing, because I do trust that they are going to learn from it, even if this cycle is not great.
They bit off more than they chew, and the game still feels better than Magic.
Yep.
It's still the best competitive card game. I feel like that's not a joke.
Yeah, I don't understand a ton about the issues people are having with CC. Because it's higher variance, that's somehow bad. Like the idea that you should be able to game plan like near perfectly in any matchup is just not something that really connects with me for this game, because part of it is I understand you are seeing so much of your deck that it feels like you should be able to, but at the same time they just kind of increase the variance a little bit, and it's like, well, this is just like, if you don't like it, that's fine, but at the same time I don't think it makes it worse. I think it means you just have to be this is a place where they're telling us to learn how to adapt, and I'm like, okay, I will. Mm-hmm. Like I'll learn how to like deal with this variance, and maybe that's me being a Prism player where I have that inherent in my deck and I'm used to it, and I'm like, what? I've been doing this since I started playing this deck. This isn't new.
Mm-hmm. There's it's interesting because there's definitely Oldham players who were just like, well, I play the same thing every game.
No, the Oldham mirror was peak Flesh and Blood, I believe is what Pablo Pintor said on his on his player slide.
And so in
whereas
that,
I think Kano mirror is Kano mirror and Icelander mirror are actually peak Flesh and Blood, because there's different things that can happen.
It's it's two sides.
They
are
completely
spectrum.
Different things.
Yes,
they are completely different.
And
things.
I think they're both absolute cinema, right? They're both absolute cinema, but in their own unique ways that showcase both big sides of Flesh and Blood.
Yes.
Actually, the other one is some kind of new mirror where it's not the high variance and it's not that, but it's funny because you can't block, because if you block you get blown out.
You can, yeah,
and so there's some assassin matchups where it's I think it's the final axis where you just can't block because you just get blown out, and so it's funny where the tempo shifts back and forth depending on what cards were drawn.
I mean, some of the mirrors in Flesh and Blood have historically not been great,
funny,
just because the way the game works.
Well, it's interesting because it's a fighting game, and fighting games notoriously they say mirrors are not the best. They're pretty bad. So,
but I don't know. Great. I think this version of CC is fine, and I understand that it is not it is not what CC used to be pre Mistveil. I understand if people don't enjoy it as much, but I also think it is fine, because it's just I figure it out, adapt. You're going to have hands that are worse than others. You're going to have hands that don't do what you want them to do. Mm-hmm. That's every deck right now.
Yeah,
that's fine. As long as that's every deck, that's fine. Because that means
it's every deck, and you can have it not be that way with some decks, and then those decks are bad.
Those decks are either bad or are busted.
Yes,
because they'll just consistently do the thing every time.
And it's either consistently way under rate or way over rate.
Or it's on rate and consistently on rate enough. Its rate is just going to be good enough, or it's not.
Yes.
And it doesn't even need to be much. But you would just see if Fi's rate was good enough, he would just be running this meta over. Mm-hmm. That's the way he's always been since he lost Belittle.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't have Artimore anymore, but still.
There's also the interesting, we kind of hit on this a little bit. There's another interesting little take in here that I've heard a few people say, but I'm going to read Bunt Burglar's version of it that he responded to my message with, because
Yeah.
it's extra. He went hard on this, like in a way that I don't fully agree with, but I think is funny. He said, short answer to fixing LL. Unban everything and then abandon it as an OP format. If Uncle James wants to give away 10 grand waifu statue once a year to whoever slogs through Flesh and Blood's equivalent, vintage equivalent format, that's on him. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth salvaging at this point in Flesh and Blood's life. Yeah, scathing.
I mean, that's the end of the spectrum where it's like they are not trying to make it competitive and they're just going to leave it super high power and it's going to be vintage, and then you're going to have a value vintage format, which is actually fun.
I love value vintage. Yes.
Like I think that's actually like where you end up on that, but
We're both reading chat.
yeah.
That's where the silence came from.
Yeah, I mean I think that's where I'm at, is like the people who are criticizing the CC format are we've been kind of spoiled for like what Flesh and Blood could be, and this is just a different version of Flesh and Blood. And then yeah, LL has not gone smoothly. I don't know.
You say they should have owned the Dirge ban. They did.
They kind of did.
They kind of
I
totally
thought.
did.
I mean, like,
I appreciate
it still
the
doesn't
Dirge
look
ban.
good, but I also didn't think they like tried to pass it off as
No, they were very upfront where they were just like, my bad.
Yeah.
This was a mistake. We were trying to like force it because of the armory deck, but
yeah, that also wasn't like a great look, especially for an armory deck that is not
Sure.
in LGSs.
but it's like I don't know,
It's
you're right. It's not like an entry level product, right? Because
No.
you have to be basically a collector to get into it.
yeah. So like, why does it matter if that is playable out of the box?
You're a brand. You sell products. You're a company.
Restricted.
I don't know.
damage.
There's
What? Okay, but like,
restricted is banned.
what's the difference?
You don't-
between restricted and banned?
You don't.
They haven't.
They only restrict
the
sip
only card-
or they only ban sips.
It was restricted before.
It wasn't banned before,
Before they-
right? It was restricted.
No, it was restricted.
Yeah. See, this is also a call-in show, so you can call in and you can give us a little more, nuance other than just text in the chat, which is super great. And we're not like calling you out necessarily for this. We're just trying to like parse through your take in text format. But also, I think the take that Bungler, I think I said his name wrong like 3 times, is like, I think it's like, it's definitely their opinion, right, on how they should take LL, where LL should just become, basically a casual format. Like just dip it.
Sure.
No, you're great. You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine.
You can call in if you want to. The link should be in the description. We do love engagement. We love guests more. Absolutely.
True.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's just, where do they want this format to end up, and then they need to go from there. And I think this is part of like why we've had an issue with this whole process, is we don't know where they want this format to end up. And I think like it seems like they want it to be a competitive format because they're putting it at Worlds, but the choices kind of don't back that up, because I probably would have waited enough. I would have gotten this full PQ season, and at most Yokohama is getting LL as part of it. And I think you have the calling at Worlds that's LL, and that's your actual data point, instead of having it the same weekend you're doing it at Worlds. But they didn't take their time with it. It got rushed because they thought it was in a fine spot. It didn't. I I think they thought it was in a fine spot, but
Yeah,
it quickly proved to not be.
I
And I
think
think
that's
part of
fair.
that is actually like RuneGate Chain didn't do a ton
Yeah.
until a month ago, and he didn't get any new cards for it. He's not even playing Painful Passage, which is the newest Shadow Runeblade card.
Oh yeah, true.
Um, so I don't think I think it just like hadn't been there yet, and as soon as it came out, it just like ran everything. It it wasn't out in this current form,
Yeah.
in this meta,
Yeah.
because it was played before. Like we had people playing it in previous events.
Yeah.
But I think
It's interesting because you want these big tier 3, tier 4 events to drive people into testing and figuring this stuff out.
yes,
But then also
yes,
like
which that is something that like I had said before is like if you care about LL, put it at Worlds.
yeah. And I think they do
But
care about it. So real
I think
quick before we
yeah,
grab our caller,
yeah,
I don't have a standardized get off the computer bedtime this evening.
okay,
So in that sense, I also want to talk about Silver Age, but I know we are also about to bring in another caller to talk about more LL up straight
yeah,
until 9. So if you want to run late, I'll leave that up to you. I'm here for it. And if you want to
okay,
grab our caller, you can also
yeah, I'll
totally
go
do
do
that.
that.
And if you want to call into this call-in show, we have a link down in the description. You join our Discord and you can send us messages in the call-in topics channel. We're literally, that's what we're talking about today, is things that people are able to put in the topic channel or whatever. Greg, you said you can talk about Silver Age. If Kevin's willing to stay late, love to have you on to talk about Silver Age. I have been playing a lot of it because it's super fast paced and I can get like 2 or 3 games in during lunch. My average Silver Age time is like 5-minute games on Icelander, which is supposed to slow the game down. Like, or Clark, either one of you, honestly, or both of you, if Kevin's up for it. Kevin's got to be up for it, though. He's the final word. Kevin or Gordon, one of them. I'm running out of caffeine, though. Gonna need some more Baja Blast. Also, I told my coworkers about a soda that I used to drink in high school, college called Balls. Bawls. Kevin, have you ever had balls before?
Hey guys,
Oh, hello.
What?
Thank you, caller. What's your name and where you're calling from? Thank you for calling.
I'm Jorge, and I'm calling from Chile.
You're calling from Chile? That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's sick. What would you like to talk about? We've been talking about it in the chat, but more specifically, if you were to like introduce the topic.
Okay. So I was trying to explain my point about the LSS not owning the dirge restriction the first time, and to take the L for the product. Like, okay, that product doesn't make sense anymore, and we took this decision, and doing the unban, they in a way like destroyed the data that they had with the dirge restriction. So they invalidated that meta, and we would return to the first meta. Like all this time didn't matter at all.
I think that that's actually an interesting point about how when they unbanned it, they did kind of ruin this data that they were trying to collect on where the meta is, considering they went back and rebanned it. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
That was Nathan's point yesterday in his stream. Yeah, that was like I thought it was a really good point.
I agree.
100%.
So yeah, go ahead.
So I mean the answer to that then is just they should have just kept it restricted from the beginning and not unrestricted it, and then they could have had this at least a whole month without this happening.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I think it was foolish, especially for this product, which is not an LGS product, is a
Yeah, exactly.
convention only product.
Which was
As far as
something
I can tell.
when I was arguing against it, I was like, I don't know, it's a pre-con, but I already completely forgot that it's like, how much were
It's
those
not
things?
in your LGS.
It's
It
not
was
in your
$60.
LGS. Okay, $60 I guess isn't awful, but yeah, I'm not buying it at my local game store, right? So
You can't.
yeah,
So like, why are we trying to protect the value of what is essentially another collector's piece? Because it's right there next to the light and shadow box.
which is actually an interesting point alongside. It didn't protect the value of Rosetta Thorn. You can't play that in anything except UPF, and if you have the like $1,000 Super Marvel,
You can't play with Predator in any format. Like
Not in any
it's-
competitive format. Yeah.
UPF, and at
yeah,
my kitchen
UPF.
table specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like that's gonna happen.
I'll go to your
Cra-
house to play my Rosetta Marvel.
Do you have one? Oh,
No.
I mean-
I was just making a joke.
it makes sense. I get it, right? And I do know people who have them, and they're just like,
Same.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess Crown of Seeds is the same though.
Oh yeah. Can't play
That's
Chrono
just
Seeds.
Yeah, yeah.
Playable anywhere because Blitz is no longer a competitively supported format.
And honestly, you can't even play Chrono Seeds at my kitchen table, because if you're playing Chrono Seeds at my UPF table, you die first. I don't care if there's Kano at the table. I know Oldham wins games, so he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like this is what happens when they try to have an eternal format. Like,
Yeah.
you're
But
gonna end
I
up with busted
also
stuff.
think that the LL format wasn't that bad, and that's like my first point, that we are a little bit spoiled with our metas in Flesh and Blood. We know how good the game can be, so
Yes.
when it is a little worse, like this is not like what I want to do because Flesh and Blood was that, and it is like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's not the best meta, but like there were like 4 viable heroes, 5, yeah, all Runeblade and Starvo, but those are 5 different heroes. They had different strategies. Like Chain was doing something different than Viserai is doing something different than Starvo, and Briar is like blocking and trying to do. It's like, and maybe Droma could get. I don't know, but the meta wasn't.
There's been Magic and there's been Yu-Gi-Oh formats recently that have been much worse than that. You have like 2 deck formats, right? And in that sense, Flesh and Blood being, I think this is like a drawback of Flesh and Blood being a hero-centric format. Everyone wants to be able to play their hero. So like it relates more to like Commander. Everyone wants to be able to play their Commander at the table and make a EDH, like I'm sorry, not a CEDH, like a competitive version of their deck. And I think there's a fair number of commanders, like there's a large number of commanders available in that, and that's kind of what people want in Flesh and Blood is, well, I want the competitive version of Dory in LL. That's probably a bad example. Actually, it might be that Dromai, right? So it's like, well, I want to play Dromai in LL, and it's like, actually, maybe she's just not there, but there is like 6 decks in LL you could play. We rattled off a number of them earlier.
So were you saying the meta with Dirge playable at full copies or with Dirge restricted was fine?
So I think both were fine, but I think the like playing Yellow Dirge with Costing was gonna be the best thing possible in the format, and it would have been a tier 0 format. So I do think that the Dirge ban is good.
Sure,
but that's like I like maybe it's not that good, but like the 6 Dirge build from Viserai, it was insane. Like 24 rune chance, and then Sonata, I win. Like it was completely stupid.
Yeah, I think I don't think the format was healthy the way it was, because I think there was just like a significant advantage for both Viserai and Chain over every other deck. I think it was pretty substantial.
There was
I think it's going to be healthier, but I think it's still not going to be where we or LSS want it to be.
There was like turns with Chain where like yellow Dirge was basically red Dirge because you just needed 2 to get your attack off. So
yeah, it didn't matter that you made 2. It was that you played your Rune Gate card, which is like, again, multiplicative value when one of those cards is free off the top of your deck and you didn't need to draw it. So you get effectively a 1-card 8 that Chain gives go again. Like,
it's so gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Like that's it's just the way LL is going to be is they have to police for that stuff. And if they want it, they have to figure out if they want it to be vintage or legacy or modern.
I don't want modern, here's what I don't want. I don't want to see the same lists in CC and LL, but also I would like it not to be a 1-deck format. I'd like it not to be a turn 1, turn 2 format.
Yeah. If they wanted like a legacy format, they should like print some set for LL that has all the answers. Because that's the problem. That's the problem. The Chain and Viserai can do whatever they want, and you can stop them. So you
need
better
like
answers.
Vaporize for everybody, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Vaporize or
Something
scour
like
for everybody.
Oh god.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like that's like what the answers have to look like, which is the equivalent of Force of Will.
Yeah.
And Legacy is like you have these 0 mana answers to the super busted stuff your opponent's doing. So you get your answers are on the power level, not just the power level, but the like amount. You have as many answers as your opponent has threats.
I think
that's just like the thing.
This is more of like a macro idea, but I think the LL will look the best, and people complain about this, but they'll complain about anything. LL will look the best when the triangle at the top is like an Illusionist, Starvo, and Runeblade, or like several Runeblades
and
several,
deck.
and aggro deck. Any number of Illusionists and Starvo, where they all just like make a nice, cute little triangle, and you can like plan around that, and you can play the deck you want to play into the format. And maybe like
you have the aggro deck, you have
Yeah.
the control deck, and you have the anti-control deck.
Yeah.
Sure, but that's just card games.
Yeah. What I would like out of LL is for it to be a card game with a card game meta. That sounds funny. No, I think we're actually mostly on the same page after we get to talking about it.
Yeah.
The part that I think we were a little confused on was like them not owning Dirge, and I think what you mean by that is like that they
needed to just stick it out. And
they should have just kept it restricted the whole time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we all agree with that, right?
Yeah. I think that, and in a sense, it's not owning the L. Like they should have taken the loss. Okay, we lose here, and then
we printed it where we shouldn't have in this LL deck.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
We lose the money or the product, etc. Like okay. And
100%.
Yep. No, I completely agree, and I'm grossing Greg out. Any number of illusionists in the top. I mean, Dromai is different than Prism, is different than Prism, is different than Enigma, is different than
Gravy.
So I mean, I don't know.
9 tipple gravy with Gold Kiss rum for tomes and
that
cash
sounds
in.
fun. That sounds silly.
Yeah, cash in.
With cash in, yeah. I want that deck to be playable, and I want to play that. That sounds fun. Actually, real quick, what deck are you playing in LL right now?
So we have 2 people that are that gain the qualification for the World Tour.
Oh,
so they are going to World. Yes.
Yeah.
2 Chileans. And I started like on Wednesday an LL day for them to test some things. And my favorite hero is Briar, so I'm playing Briar.
Sure.
But also I like a lot Prism and Dromai. So When I'm not playing Briar, I'm playing Dromai. And
Yeah.
I have a very nice matchup against Starvo, like very good.
Understandable.
and
Understandable.
and yeah, but Viscera and Chain are like auto losses. Without Dirge, maybe it's something. Nah, Viscera is still a loss, but Chain more manageable.
Yes.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's bad.
Well, that's exciting. And I again, we appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Where there we go. I appreciate the call. Is there anything you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
So Team Fab Chile, that's my team. Both my boys are going there. So yeah, that's the guys that I want to shout out.
Heck yeah, that's super cool. I'll see if I because we're both going to Worlds. I'm gonna see if I can see them, or at least it'd be super cool to see them on coverage, right? So I can't wait to look out for them.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, of course.
Heck
Bye-bye.
yeah. Awesome. See ya. That was good. I think there was a hang up where we thought taking the L was different than what they meant. And this is the whole premise of the show, right?
This is why we do this.
This is why we do this, is because over text you can't tell, tone, but there's so much information that gets lost. So that was a really good take. I liked that.
Yeah.
And we got to gross Greg out with Illusionists.
Yeah. Are we getting these goobers in here?
Do we want to? Do you want the double call in?
Only if they're both here at the same time so they can yell at each other.
Yes. Greg, Clark, if both of you are listening, you both got to get in here.
We can do Silver Age while we wait on them.
How did he say his name again? I'm so bad with names.
Jorge?
It was great to have you on. Sure. Thank you so much.
If I mess that up, let me know.
If I mess that up, don't let me know. I'm so bad with names. I'm just going to own it. I'll tell my boys to go say hi. Heck yes, dude. That's so sick.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
No.
You're not available? Well, Greg, should have grabbed Clark by the... Should have grabbed Clark and pulled him on.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say like by the ear. Like drag him by the ear.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Kevin. All right. Do we want to talk about Silver Age a little bit?
I don't know that there's actually that much to talk about since the last time we...
Craig's here anyways.
Of course he is.
Do you want...
Is there...
Go ahead.
Is there... We streamed since they did the whatever.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Since
do we have any more information on it?
I played a lot of games. I probably played like 50 games of it.
Yeah.
I get like 5 games in a day. It don't take no time at all. Like literally, I said this while you were grabbing Jorge, that my Icelander games are taking 5 minutes.
Sure.
It's just like you knock them out. I could spend more time thinking 100%, but it's Talishar, so knocking those games out. And so I don't think there's much more information. There was the take of Sage will make CC cheaper, which if you want to talk about that, we could also save it for some other time.
We can probably quickly go through that.
Sure. They said that Sage will increase the demand of commons and rares, leading to more packs being opened. Increase the number of packs means higher supply of Majestics, right? More Sage events means less demand for Majestics, and some players may migrate from CC and LL to Sage and sell off cards of higher rarity, trade off cards of higher rarity.
So that last point, I think, will be a small portion of the community and not have a substantial effect on things.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think more packs are going to be opened because of Sage. I think more bulk is going to get used because of Sage.
Did you see how much the Blade Beckoner equipment is?
No. Should I be pulling all of mine out and selling it?
You might be. Let me look up real quickly because Lupine brought this up.
Are people just buying it instead of
Blade Beckoner
Getting
helm
pack per
on
win.
TCG Player right now is $5 plus $1 for shipping. Cold
In
foil,
non-foil?
in non-foil, cold foil is $10. Yeah, dude. Dude, listen. There's a cold foil that sold today for $25.
Okay, did I put it with all the rares?
A
I
cold
put them
foil
with all
that
the
sold for
rares.
$25.
That's crazy.
This is a rare piece of equipment from the Hunted.
Yeah.
Opened a ton of. Yeah, no, dude, like, it's in every single deck right now. And I understand that's 100% why they're printing more equipment in pin. But, like...
Sure.
Do you want me to bring Greg in? I kind of want to talk to him about this.
Sure. Just drag him in.
Sure. Greg, we know you have a mic. Greg!
Yeah.
We caught him off guard. Greg, how many Blade Beckoner helms do you have? I actually panicked the other day when I was putting my Icelander deck in because the Blade Beckoner was in the... I sort my cards, at least for equipment, common and rare equipment, is all in one big stack. For, like, heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. So, like, I was going through my head equipment, and it was in, like, the last 50 cards of my head equipment, and I was panicking that I didn't have one for Icelander.
I'm going to be completely honest with you right now.
Uh-huh.
What? I don't even know what set those are
The
from.
Hunted.
I don't think
Hunted.
they're shunted. I probably have some. The only thing I got of that set was the Blitz
I
collection
made sure I had 2 sets of
There are
them.
some in the Blitz decks. The
Oh,
gauntlets
sick.
are in Fang.
Oh,
and those
are they?
$5 a piece.
Ooh, baby! Then I got them.
I mean, they're also for sale. $5 plus $2 shipping.
That's bonkers. We
Yeah, it
card
is.
game kids are just so dumb.
These Blade Beckoner stuff is like, it's like the best thing you can be doing with equipment if you don't have something tailor-made for your class.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, guys. I'm so bad at this game. I've been playing Sage, and I saw people like, "Oh my gosh, these
He's
are
got 'em.
definitely the thing to do." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll play them, but I don't understand what makes these better." And then I realized that like I just haven't ever fully comprehended Guardwell as a mechanic. So then somebody used it against me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now the slow kid."
So it's like, it's interesting because it reminds me of what's the equipment that Iron. What's the
Hide?
one that
Where you pay one?
Where you pay one that Icelander liked.
Yeah,
Ironhide.
Ironhide.
They were the
You have
Monarch
to
ones, yeah.
you have to pay for it to get 2 value out of them, and it's not flexible. This I can block one on a breakpoint that KO throws at me with an on hit or something like that, and then I can also use it for his claw. And it's like,
Yep.
it's very flexible with how you use it. You will always get the value out of it.
It's like low key one of the most elegant designs that they've made for
It's so
equipment.
good.
Like it's so buttery smooth and it feels so nice. And I didn't even realize it until like 48 hours ago when I was playing a Sage game.
It's so good. And so Lupine brought it up on Bluesky, and that's how I knew about the fact that they're,
how expensive those cold foils are.
They're starting to
Lol.
pick up price. Yeah. So, in that sense, I wouldn't be surprised if what are you looking at?
This set got thrown in with my Hunted pre-order, and I'm gonna sell it for about $50.
Holy
Stonks.
frick.
And I'm gonna.
That people should open more the Hunted. Packs
People
should
shouldn't
be...
throw their bulk away. That's where I'm gonna go with that. Oh, there's
They
another.
throw their
piece,
bulk
cold
away.
foil.
You know how many boxes I have in my basement of cards?
No,
5 rows?
I'm gonna push back against that, Smurf. This is a good hot take that we could argue
What do you mean
about.
throw I don't even know what he means
no-
by that. They should throw their bulk away?
No. I am pro throwing bulk away because then this will
What?
lead to a nice, healthy market where me, the investor who throws no bulk away, can then say, Egg on your nose, fool.
If anyone wants to throw away bulk, you can mail it to my house. I'll pay shipping.
I love you so much, William.
Heck yes. I need more bulk, especially the newer sets, because Ridge used to buy a couple of cases of all the old ones, and now I don't have Ridge's bulk to take.
Rest in peace, Ridge.
Rest
Gone
in
but
peace,
not
Ridge.
forgotten.
No, he's moved on to healthier lifestyles.
Is he just like brewing beer? Or,
No.
He's
He's buying a house and has a child, and his hobby is
oh
his
my gosh,
child
he's
right
exercising.
now. Yeah, he's exercising
like adult stuff. He's adulting,
and he's
Being
he's
a
actually
mature
exercising.
human?
Like he's just being a good,
gross.
healthy member of society.
Exercising. Okay, no, that's not
That's not healthy.
Okay. We're gonna have to stage intervention for them.
Okay, so they said some players might migrate from CCLL to Sage to sell off their cards. Kevin said he thinks that number is actually kind of low. That would migrate specifically from these higher life total formats to the lower life total formats. I also push back on that a bit, where I'm like, I think there's a reasonable number of people. Actually, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get into Flesh and Blood with Sage in the future. Not necessarily right now. They're going to get into Flesh and Blood with Sage, then they'll migrate to CC.
Yes.
And so in that sense, Sage is going to pump CC numbers.
I agree. I can totally appreciate that perspective, though, of like, I might fall into the category of a person that would consider selling some of their collection and just playing a budget format, because I am also a human that doesn't have the free time I would like to be able to like grind for the calling at Worlds that's coming up that I still don't know what I'm playing, and I'm going to be a clown probably playing Meatex Berserk Rhinar.
No. You need to be playing Clown Slap in RKO. Mocking Blow.
Oh no, dude! I've bought 0 Super Slam.
No.
So I've just like this is circling back to that. Like I only have this collection, and if I'm gonna play a format, like if a new hero strikes me, I can just spend $10 to get the chaff for a Silver Age deck, and that is something that my lizard brain likes.
So Clark said, "What does the migration look like?" And I'm assuming he's talking about from Sage to CC, because he followed up with the power jump feels so big. I think the migration looks like probably 10 to 12 in a V formation that's a little off sides, and it's definitely flying. But I also think it looks like it's actually, I actually think it's very reasonable migration, because if you get more invested in the hobby, you want to invest more in the hobby, and then also I
think it has to do with what your LGS does.
I think it is
like
a
if
big
you
part
see
of
people
LGS.
playing
if they teach you the game on Silver Age and they're like, I'll play some Silver Age with you just to get you acclimated to the game. But on
this day we play CC.
On this day we play CC, right? I'll let you borrow a CC deck after we get you through the ropes. Then you're gonna want to, if you like the game, you're gonna start investing in CC. And then also, have you seen KO's numbers? That's CC numbers.
Far off, honestly.
Those are CC numbers.
They're really not.
They're not like they're not that far off. And I'm not saying it's like explosive, kill them in one turn.
You don't have,
but it's like
it is not hard for you to go KO in Silver Age right now to KO in CC, where you just buy blood rushes, and then the deck is going to play very similarly.
And then the upgrades are slow but reasonable.
Yeah, like you add Blood Rush and Sash, and I think you're just like actually playing CC, and like you can actually piecemeal that deck up to a competitive level. Now, is that everything in the format? No, it's absolutely not.
It's also not like super competitive. It doesn't encompass. Yeah, you were right. It doesn't encompass every playstyle, right? So like if you were playing like Icelander, like I'm playing in Sage, it's not a good way to move up. Like what do you do?
Sure.
Go to a Cilio? Like frick.
All the legendary
Verdance,
equipment,
but yeah.
yes, I agree. So Scabs are on there, and Scowling Fleshbag is there, and Apex Bonebreaker's there. I agree.
Scowling Fleshbag.
But you can also run Beaten Trackers, and I think that's actually totally fair. The headpiece and arms are a step that they would take. But this is not trying to be that's a flesh and blood problem. That's not a Silver Age problem.
Is it a problem? I don't know. They're just different formats.
I think they are different formats, but I think that bridge, if they're actually like getting into the game and their intent is to be competitive, because they can also just play Silver Age.
Sure.
And be casual. They can play CC and be casual too. And like they could play CC health and Silver Age deck restrictions, but 60 cards if they wanted to.
Well, hold my beer. Maybe it's like they hinted at how Penn is like, you know, in their dev talk or whatever about how the upcoming Q1 set for next year is like that really kicks the doors down for Silver Age or whatever.
Yes.
Maybe that's going to be something that will have a bunch of other play styles available for heroes and things that will correlate better to CC transition points and stuff like that.
I could see that if they have more like Betsy hat type equipment.
Oh, Betsy's hat's so good. Well, I mean, Acilio has like equipment that's like.
Acilio's equipment is also very cheap, but getting Gone in a Flash is like the big jump. And that deck
but I mean, like
changes when you get Gone in a Flash.
There's multiple heroes where they have very cheap, reasonable options for their deck, or cards that like were a limited card and is now a part of like a little different. Volzar or not? Lightning Rod. It's just his weapon, but it's also like his draft weapon. So
sure. Yeah, I mean they're pretty good about weapons not being majestic or like a different rarity anymore. I think they've done away with that pretty decisively.
I think if you're LSS the company, you're like, I want every deck to probably run 1 or 2 legendaries at least, and I want people to upgrade their deck to 1 or 2 legendaries at least, and I think that's very reasonable of the company to think that.
Yep. I don't know. I think it's if Silver, like, that's just part of getting into Flesh and Blood to some degree, I think.
Especially this is also like a competitive mindset. If you're just showing up to armories, beating trackers will last you as long as you want them to, right? If your goal is not
they're
to
just
win
played
armory,
half the time in CC anyways.
Like if you're, if you just need 2 blocking your headpiece, that's fine. You can play your armories.
You just run Knucklehead and you get 3.
Yeah. And you know what? Juice a person once a month when you actually roll a 6 off Knucklehead. Roll a 5
did that in a Sage game, and it was one of the most thrilling things
I've rolled a 1 twice in Silver Age, and I'm never doing it again.
Rolling a 1 or
rolling activating the headpiece. Yes, I fully
will never push the button
deck.
to activate that again.
Never again. I've moved to a different hero because that button is too. What have they been calling it? It's too Green Goblin mask to like have on the field.
Green Goblin mask.
It's a Green Goblin mask. I can't have it on my side of the field. I'll just press that button.
Crap. I need to get that altered to be Willem Dafoe's unhinged face. That's so
funny. I like that. What was the other point? You mentioned mentors should be legal in Silver Age, which leads me to a point of Silver Age is a lot closer to Clash than it's like the middle ground between Commoner and Clash. The like
and Commoner.
Yeah,
Clash.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Clash is the fan format that's like a diet blitz.
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly enjoyed playing, and this gives me some of those
too.
vibes. But that was where my whole point was like, I just want there to be some of those identity pieces that you to play, and like obviously, some of the specializations in this format would just be unhinged levels of broken. But just let me play mentors, man. Let me play the goofy Arachne mentor or Sheaf Ricatan. Yeah, I know, but like
Arachne? What if they print rare mentors? They can just print more rare mentors.
That is true. You know what? And again, maybe those will be in pen. And you know what? Then Greg will be a very happy little
Oh
fan.
my gosh, a limited format where they print rare mentors. They could do that.
The beautiful thing about LSS is they could literally do anything. They've done it so many times
Hmm.
where we've had these preconceived notions about what is and is not allowed for them to do in their game, and they're just like, "LOL, check this out."
It's like when, for me, it was because I started in Tales of Aria in Everfest when they came out with Time Snap Potion. I think I had Tim sit me down and explain how that card works because I was like, no, but like you need the pitch in the pitch. Or not Time Snap. What's the
I was gonna
Deja
say,
Vu? D potion, not T potion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, what do you need the pitch in the pitch. You don't so you like lose your resources? And he's like, no, just the physical cards. And I'm like, what?
But then,
yeah,
but then
like
the
you're
cards
on
are
a
on top
bad
of the
acid
deck.
trip.
It's like it was like I don't know. That was my first moment where I was just like, man, they can just do whatever the frick they want, can't they? And they've done that since
Yeah,
then,
Jimmy.
right?
Yeah, so there are some cards and things like that where
Watery
Jimmy D
Grave
was
is a
definitely
weird
just rolling
mechanic.
the fattest
Yeah.
blunt in his office, and then we're just like, "Whoa, man! What if?
Yeah.
But what if when you transcend, you literally pick the card up and flip it over, right?"
They're like, we're looking at this Gravy Bones, and I don't understand why he doesn't just play Remembrance. And he's just like, okay, fine. When they go to the graveyard, I don't know, flip them upside down. And
Yeah,
then
I don't know,
Joshua
figure it
Scott
out,
goes
Joshua
like,
Scott.
stop. He's like, ah. I can see that.
God bless that beautiful Kiwi having to deal with all that malarkey.
So the thing about Silver Age compared to Clash is Clash is a defined fan format that is already out. It's already got all its rules. We know how it works. Silver Age is technically not out yet. There is more announcements to be had on it. There's more announcements. That's another thing. There's more announcements on Blitz. Like, I feel like I'm pushing off any conversation about Blitz until after Worlds because they've said several times that they're going to have an announcement about it, whatever that looks like at Worlds. And I'm not expecting anything grand, but I am expecting them to like explain their intentions with the format. Maybe that's too much of an expectation on me on LSS for them to
I feel like
fully
they owe the
explain
fan
what they want
base
to
that.
do. Blitz. I'm also a little cold to Blitz, so like if they don't explain it to me, I'm not the fan base they need to explain it to, so I don't think I care. But I'm excited about Silver Age. I'm also excited about LL, but I think I'm mostly excited about going to Worlds and just playing in a calling at Worlds. So I think regardless what the format would be, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, same. That's my vibe as well. I'm
Yeah.
just here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah. And I plan to die young. Anyways, I think that's mostly it. Sounds like we're wrapping up. Greg, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out the Table Pits Patreon. Go subscribe there. Go buy a T-shirt from their merch store, like I did, and wear it around your children. And every time they see you wear it, they'll say, "Dad, why is there a table falling in that pit?" And I'll say, "Because it's the table pit." And they'll say, "Oh."
It's the pit for the table.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's where the table-
Oh, also the other thing that I do want to shout out is if you haven't already seen it, it was on the internet, but go to I think it was BIOS Update is doing the Trans Lifeline fundraiser. So instead of buying a cup of coffee this week, throw $5 at that because you should do that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Oh, and one other big thing that I really wanted to shout out.
Mhm. Oh, wow, he disconnected.
All right, cool.
That sounds like a William move. One more thing to shout out, disappears. Every time I think of the Trans Lifeline thing, it reminds me of a different thing that kind of happened in the Flesh and Blood community, tangentially related, and it always makes me chuckle. So I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at an idiot. Anyways, I think that mostly wraps it up. Kevin, you got any shout outs?
No, I'm good.
Heck yeah. This is a consistent thing that I'm asking every week now. When's the next Smurf Fab video?
It's on the way.
Yeah.
Although I ended up starting to plan a fourth instead of actually making the first one.
I understand that. As someone who also makes really long... Also, I have a video in works that I've been talking to people about. It looks like it's coming out afterwards. So, I understand that completely. I was like, I'm going to see how much I can get done by the end of this week and then make plans from there. And then at the end of that week, I got a 1/7 of the way done on the editing. And I was like, oh, I put all my extra time into this. This is going to take a minute. So I understand. Videos just come out when they are ready. Like children. Remember to go check out our merch at thetablepit-shop.fourthwall.com where you can get shirts that say things like...
Yo.
Actually, this is technically a shirt I made, but it's not in the store because I made this
it's not.
I made this on Jackbox. It's Ranger, and it says Ranger Danger. He's really sad. I like to think that he's the danger, and he feels bad about it. And if you want to help make this stream look nicer and help us get supplies for project videos like this cube, do you know how much hard to find it costs?
You're proxying it.
I am. That's how much it costs. But if you want to put a real one in the cube, or if you want actually the money to go towards something a little more beneficial than just a cube, you go to patreon.com/thetablepit. Thank you all so much for watching. We do this every Thursday at 8 p.m. We also have No Blocks, a Chill Tower stream where we don't stream because Wyatt seems to be out of town every single weekend. But we are going to do it not this weekend, the next weekend, I believe. Potentially. And then we also have a show, The Design Table, a Chill Flesh and Blood art show where we also do that very inconsistently. But I think there's I'm making sure it happens because I'm going to be solo streaming if we can't get it to work out this Saturday at around noon. So thank you all so much for watching. Bye.